Well, once again this week, gold continues to skyrocket, closing in quickly on an earth-shattering $1,000 an ounce. It's soaring because the U.S. economy is collapsing. And when the big banks start restricting withdrawals to customers, as they did just last week, you begin to realize how serious it's all getting. It's also no secret that those who run the world are dumping U.S. real estate and business assets and turning the cash into gold and silver, along with investing in foreign currencies like the yuan. With record high home foreclosures, retail businesses dropping like flies, the sky is falling on America. But hey folks, it's your choice. You can stay in the dark or you can do something about it. Bottom line, purchase as much gold as you can right now. If money is tight, get sterling. And with silver still under 20 an ounce, $2,000 will buy 100 ounces. So don't wait, because tomorrow is too late. Protect and feed your family with gold and silver from Patriot, delivered right to your door. Call 1-800-951-0592.
Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson has worked as an astrophysicist and research scientist at Princeton University and is, since 1996, the director of the Hayden Planetarium in New York City.
Using telescopes from all over the world and the Hubble Space Telescope, Dr. Tyson has been able to research and has published books on topics including star formation, exploding stars, dwarf galaxies, and my favorite, black holes.
Welcome so much, Dr. Tyson.
It was great to have me on.
Oh, yeah, we've been so looking forward to this. Richard saw you doing an interview with Jon Stewart some months ago, and he says, we've got to get that man on the show and talk about black holes.
Well, Doctor, how you describe, the effect of a spaghettification or something like that just had me rolling on the floor laughing. I mean, it's a serious subject, but, describe to us, how would it be like to die by being sucked up by a black hole?
Well, let me preface this by saying it's not a likely way you would die if you were space traveling. Black holes are extremely rare in the galaxy. But if you happened upon one, this is exactly what would happen. Okay? So I don't want to scare anybody.
No, we never do that on Out There.
But Neil, they are out there in space, lurking around.
They are indeed out there. There's a huge one in the center of each galaxy, and then there are like smaller ones that are distributed in and among the stars. And those are the ones that are particularly deadly, the little ones, because as you stand on Earth, your feet are closer to the Earth's center than your head is, and in fact, your feet feel a slightly stronger force of gravity for that fact. But you don't notice it because that difference is very small. But as you fall towards a black hole, that difference in gravity between your feet and your head continues to grow. And you reach a point where what initially feels kind of good because you're just stretching. We all like to stretch. But then the stretching continues unrelentingly. And you reach a point where the bottom half of your body and the upper half of your body are pulled apart with such force that the force exceeds the intermolecular force of your flesh that keeps your body together, and you just snap into two pieces.
Cool.
And then those two pieces, they eventually feel a similar effect, and they snap into a pair of pieces each. So you go from 1 to 2 to 4 to 8 to 16, and this keeps splitting all the way until you're this stream of atoms. And on top of that, you're also being funneled through an ever-narrowing fabric of space and time. And so you're basically being extruded like toothpaste through a tube. So you combine being stretched and extruded. The only word to describe that is to be spaghettified. Now, it sounds odd that there's such a word for it, but we have other words for how to die that distinguish all kinds of different ways.
Well, Neil, you're an astrophysicist, so you can use all the big words you want tonight.
But I'm just saying, we add now to the list of ways to die to be spaghettified.
Sure. Now, black holes themselves are fascinating. How do they get to be? I don't understand exactly what a black hole is.
Yeah, sure. It's a region of space where the gravity is so intense and so large that nothing can escape. Now, our grandparents told us that what goes up must come down here on Earth, and that's only because they didn't have rockets. You can actually send a rocket fast enough so that it never comes back. And for Earth, that speed is about 7 miles per second. Anything less than that comes back. Anything more than that escapes to the edge of the universe and is gone from Earth forever.
Neil, have you ever seen, though, I mean, through any of the telescopes you have access to, any planets or solar systems actually being sucked into a black hole?
Oh, yeah. Well, what you see is you don't actually see things falling. What you see are, that is, you don't see a planet 1 minute and then it disappears the next minute. The distances are vast, and the time over which that would take place is huge. What you do see is you see centers of galaxies that occasionally sort of burp up huge amounts of energy. And if you model that with swirling gas clouds and stars descending down into a black hole, what you find is not all that material can get in all at the same time. And it crowds itself as it spirals down. And it's the crowding that creates enormous quantities of high-energy radiation. Gamma rays, X-rays, ultraviolet, and we have special telescopes that can detect these black hole environments, halfway across the galaxy. One of them is the Chandra X-ray telescope that's now orbiting the Earth. And so in these black holes, when you detect a black hole, you're not actually seeing the black hole itself. You're seeing its effect on the environment around it. And so when you to say, have I ever seen anything falling? I see the effects of things getting stripped and ripped apart, crowding their way down as they fall into the abyss.
Now, Neil, if there was a Big Bang, and we can get into this in a moment, would that be where a black hole was at first made?
Well, the Big Bang, the singular event that formed the universe, there's not a correspondence between that and a black hole, except in the following way. Einstein's relativity theory, his general theory of relativity, which is the modern theory of gravity, it fails at the center of a black hole. We know this. It's kind of like dividing by zero. You may remember that from your math class, that's a no-no.
Right.
Well, you apply Einstein's relativity theories, and they work everywhere except at the exact center of the black hole, and we call that a singularity. Well, the beginning of the universe was also a singularity. And so we've got top people working on this problem right now. So these are the string theorists that you may have heard about. The string theorists have a whole branch of their effort to carry the laws of physics in and through these singularities in space.
In respect to black holes, there's something called accretion. What does that mean?
Well, accretion. Well, there's a lot of chuckling in the astronomical community when we talk about accretion disks around black holes. It's a place where you gather the material that wanders a little too close, and then it gets captured by the black hole itself, spirals in, and then gets fed. So typically, if you eat too much over the months, you gather your own accretion disk around your waistline. So because you're accreting matter. So accretion disk, there's nothing deep or mysterious about it. It's just this swirling sort of toilet bowl style way that material funnels down into a black hole.
Gotcha.
And in fact, I didn't use the word, but that's what is going on when I said we detect black holes. We're actually detecting the accretion disk.
Gotcha.
Neil, we need to get to a commercial break. When